Hey everybody, it's GP from BigSexyBeast.com, and we are back in the shop in between expeditions. And I thought I'd take the opportunity to do a few gear reviews because there's been a lot of folks asking for gear reviews on some of the things we've been using on a variety of the trips. And I thought I would start out with headlamps. So this is the PETZL TACTIKKA, TACTIKKA plus RGB headlamp, and the RGB is red, green, and blue. If I can figure out red, green, red. Oh, I got it flashing. Flash, or you can, obviously, there's blue, and so at one point here I will eventually get it into white light. There you go, and you can go brighter, brighter, or off. So it has three settings on white light. Or it has red, which I prefer the most. It has green, which I really haven't used yet. And then of course it's got like a flashing and an SOS in each of those colors. And so let me get into this headlamp and start off by talking about the things that I don't like about it. This overall is going to be a pretty positive review. I really like this headlamp, but I thought I'd start about the things that I don't like about it, which ironically is what landed me with this headlamp. So the thing I don't like about it the most is that this whole housing, the entire thing, is plastic, and it feels like it's plastic, and it's very, very lightweight, which is nice. But it just, you know, I was wanting something that was more substantial. And I had originally purchased the night core. And so the night core, this is the HC65 night core. And it's heavy duty, it's beefy. Like this is like an aluminum housing. It's very heavy duty. When you feel it, it's like, wow, that's substantial. This one also has white light and red, and this one will go from just a few lumens, 1 or 2 lumens, up to 1,000 lumens. And you know, this was the headlamp that I was really excited about. The problem is that this headlamp, a number of times, way out in the middle of nowhere, Wyoming, Montana, the Cohutta Wilderness in Georgia. I can't tell you how many times that I have been on foot in the middle of nowhere with this headlamp and it quit working. And so that's what drove me away from this headlamp, and ultimately ended up driving me back to PETZL for a headlamp. And so the thing that I don't like about the PETZL is that it doesn't feel like the night core. The night core is heavy and it feels like it's well made, and intermittently just stops working. And the PETZL feels like it's plastic, it's lightweight, it didn't really weigh anything, and it has never ever ceased to stop working for me. So let's dive in deep on the PETZL, and let me show you kind of the other thing, some of the things that I really do like about the PETZL that I think make it an awesome headlamp. So the PETZL headlamp, you know, as I mentioned, it has a bit of a plastic feel, but hopefully here in the lights you can get a little bit better look at this. Let's pull this over, and you can see, so it's got a dispersion lens on here. That's your white light, that's your colored light there. As I mentioned before, it'll do white light, it'll do red, green, and blue. and the battery life on this has been fantastic. I haven't had to, or need to change the battery since I got it. The other thing that's cool about this though is that if you open it up here, and again it's plastic, so that is my complaint about it, but at the same time it's probably one of the things that makes it really cool. If I pull it in here, you can see that this battery pack, if I can get it out, pull it from that side. So it uses these battery packs, these PETZL battery packs that take a USB charger, so they're rechargeable and they're tiny. They don't weigh really anything to run the battery pack, and it's configured in such a way, if you can see in here, that assuming that you're on a backpacking trip and these batteries run down, all you really need to carry as a spare are 3 AAA batteries. And so it will run on the PETZL rechargeable battery packs that you can recharge with USB, or it'll run off of AAA batteries that you can get anywhere. And so that's a nice option to be able to you know, carry this thing charged, and then in the event that it goes dead, to be able to have 3 AA batteries that that you can have as a backup. I also went ahead and got a second of these rechargeable battery packs. So I have my primary USB battery pack, I have a secondary USB battery pack, and then assuming that both of those go dead, I can find 3 AAA batteries about anywhere and drop those in the headlamp and be back in business for light. And so that is one of the things that that I'm really finding is pretty powerful about this light, is especially on like longer backpacking trips or when you're going to be out in the wilderness for a long time, the ability to be able to easily switch back and forth between reserve battery. There's the blue flash. There's the white light, high, medium, low, or low, medium, high. It makes this thing pretty indispensable, because you can always, and I mean it probably lasts, I'll have to look at the specs, but it's hundreds of hours on its lowest setting, I'm pretty sure. And so, you know, you get multiple days out of your expedition with this, and then when you get the end of it, if you've got the second battery, you just swap to the second battery pack with the USB, put your original battery pack on a USB charger, and then you're back in business. You know, so you're really never without light. And in the event that that you are, or the apocalypse happens, if you've got AAA batteries, you're back in business. And so I use this in Maine on the Maine trip, and I was only on the primary battery. I only bought the secondary battery for backpack hunting trips when I was going to be out for multiple days and wouldn't have access to the truck to recharge, and I've never actually needed to use the second battery yet. I've only been using on the first. So at the end of the day, I love this headlamp, the PETZL TACTIKKA RGB plus RGB. I wish that it had, so if you look at the night core headlamp, it has this strap that goes over the top of the head as well, and I like that because it kind of just sits in place a little bit more, and it doesn't bounce up and down quite as much. So I kind of miss having the over the head strap here. I wish it felt like the night core and was as bomb proof from a, you know, just a housing perspective and a metal perspective. All that said though, the night core has not been bomb proof. It's let me down a few times when it could have turned out really poorly, where I was in the middle of nowhere, on foot, and in complete darkness. The night core also has a single battery, also rechargeable, but it's a 3400 milliamp hour battery that goes in there. And so I suppose you could carry a replacement battery for the night core just like you could for the PETZL. The battery alone for the night core probably weighs more than the PETZL and a spare battery. So something to keep in mind. This is the PETZL TACTIKKA RGB, I'm happy with it so far. All the reasons that I don't like it are irrational and don't actually have to do with the functionality. So the functionality on this thing is solid. So anyway, check this thing out. It also comes in cool camo. So what's not to like about that? That's the PETZL Headlamp TACTIKKA plus RGB.